Who are T? Who are we? Who are we? This is the URT. You are the URT. Pick up the URT. Welcome back to the URT. Smash the like for the URT. Subscribe for the URT. Share for the URT. Get in there. Get in there. Get in there. Manchester United have got the monkey off their back. 10-year record not winning at Anfield. We went there, Mr. Absolute Slabhead winner. Slabhead, you heard it here first. Slabhead winner. Bam, wham. Thank you very much, ma'am. There we go. Manchester United have beaten Liverpool. I repeat, beaten Liverpool at Anfield. And Ruben Amorim has 2 games back-to-back and the anniversary of a year since he took over. A couple of weeks out of the anniversary of the year he took over, a year in charge, and he's won his first 2 Premier League games back to back. Put some respect on that. Game plan today, we didn't agree with it. Didn't really agree with some of the lineup, but you know what? I can't take it away from him. I can't take it away from him. Today, his game plan worked. He played on a back foot. We played a bit of a low block, mid to low block, and we got there. But we've got all of that coming up for you in the show. We've got Luani. We've got hopefully Bumbaye. We've got Ben. We've got Sean. We've got all the boys, the panel match reaction. So please join us after this. Love and light. Manchester United, Harry Maguire, last minute winner. Well, last couple of minutes winner. Get in there. Lots to talk about. Loads to debate. Let's go. Let's go, people. So, yeah, see you after this.
Big up.
Let me get this media bit right. There we go. This is the URT. Welcome back to the URT. Lays us out. Radcliffe, Ineos out. Ineos, Radcliffe out. We keep it 100% win or lose or draw, people. Big up to everybody. Luani, talk to me. How did you see the game? Break it down. I'm going to move.
Big up Nuruddin, big up Therapy Army, big up the chat. I mean, who would have predicted today that we will get that result at Anfield? None of us did actually. But somewhere when you watch this game, it's like looking at when you look deep inside the realm of football mystery, you'll find somewhere buried in there Amorim, his tactic. So, like you say, this is not the one that you're going to take away from him. I'm pretty sure when the lineup came up, all of us look at that and we say, wow, Harry Maguire displaced the lead on the right-hand side. Diego Dalot is playing. Luke Shaw is playing. And Mason Mount is playing. We're playing without no recognizable striker. Wow. Okay. What can we do here? It looked like a long shot, but the lads showed up today. They played well, they defended well, and we go according to the general rule of football, which is it doesn't matter how much possession the opposition have, it doesn't matter how many chances you created. If you take your chances, you can get a result, and that's what we did today. We score early, very early, which worked in our advantage, and then after that, it was we killed their home advantage by scoring early. We silenced the Anfield crowd. really early. I believe that they're not used to that kind of scenario. And then from there on, we were able to sit back and contain them, which is always what this game will be about. Last preview, I said that we were going to contain them. It's all going to depend on the firepower of Liverpool and how we can manage that. Today, the fact that we score early really give us a big boost. The early jitteries and the early nervousness associated with having to deal with Anfield pressure, we didn't have to deal with that. So, which makes things a little bit more easier. And I think we defended very well. And the first half, especially, we set up in a mid block, and then we were switching between that mid block and low block.
4-4-2. We played 4-4-2
Yeah,
in a block.
yeah,
Put out the
and
middle.
I think we were pretty compact. I was surprised the double pivot of Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes held very well, and I knew that our chances would come from that right hand side with Mbomo and Ahmad, because the partnership between Kirkers and Van Dijk is not really that, and we exploited that early. Or with that second, when we won that second ball, Bruno, I wanted to come in today and throw a grenade at him, but you know what? He's the only player in that team that can find that pass, that can find Maguire with that one-time pass. So you know what? He justified his inclusion. He justified 90 minutes. Sometimes if he give us headache, even when we look at the TV and try to throw something at him, but he's the only player that's capable of those moments of brilliance. And because of him today, we walk away with a victory. But credit goes to the whole team, by the whole back line, the way they defended really, really well. I was a little worried about Delete on that right hand side because I didn't think he could defend the wide areas, but he was absolutely perfect. And Maguire also defended well. Mo Salah couldn't get any change on that left hand side. I know he's not on form, but you still have to defend him, which Luke Shaw did well as well. So today is not the day where we bring in all the negative stat or anything about the team or what Amorim is doing. You have to give him credit. He believed in certain thing. Then in the post-match conference, he came out and said that the reason he played Maguire is because Maguire had the experience to deal with certain situation. He had the experience to deal with certain pressure, and the performance, give him right. He's right. He made the right choice. We walk away with 3 points and a 2-1 win. So congratulations to all the team.
Big up the therapy army. Big up Khalees from Medina Lassie. Yes, brother. Big up to my brother here. Let me just go back to him. Yeah, you can come on the channel. Are you on X? Tag me in a tweet in X, and you can come on. No problem, as long as you're a good person, bro. Big up to everybody. Manchester United won a game, so the least you could do is like the video. I've just put it on there. Who's your player of the match? Maguire, Ahmad, Cunha, in Burma. Take your pick. Take your pick, man. Take your pick. I thought Cunha was phenomenal in the second half.
Yeah,
Big up to Khalees from Medina Lassie. Big up to Tamu. Tamu always believed, to be fair, he did say the United can win at Anfield. He's predicted the last 2 games, so big up to him. Big up to Tamu. Sending love. Peter Schmeichel, the biggest win on the Ruben Amorim so far we saw today. We've never been seen before. All other players fought today. Yeah, we had to absolutely ride our luck. I'm not gonna lie to you.
yeah,
But we deserve to get some luck sometimes. Yeah. Big up. Get voting. My player, the man of the match. First half it was Ahmad. Second half it was Cunha. So it's 2 different players for me. First half it was Ahmad. Second half it was Cunha. Brian in Burma, game by numbers, 80 pass accuracy, 30 total touches, 3 touches in the box, 3 crosses, 3 shots, 1 goal. Yeah, big up to him. Big up, man. That was a big goal after a minute. Gavin of the great place for Manchester United to win the game is big period coming up, the manager under pressure, and they pull something out of the bag. Yeah. Well, this is it. I'm not going to talk about it, but we'll see next week in it. We'll see what we do against Brighton.
Brighton.
But yeah, I'm not. I'm only going to focus on this game today. Who was your man of the match? What players did you think were first? Don't tell me who's your player of the match, Luani. Tell me who are the contenders in your list of players of the match.
Okay. I have a close tie between Cunha and Ahmad. Cunha, because in the first half he was a little wasteful, but in the second half he was perfect because of the way he's holding the ball. Cunha is one of those players that you cannot get the ball off him unless you commit a foul, and we need more of those players in the team. Now Ahmad, because of his defensive work went unnoticed. He was doubling up on Gakpo all the time with Delete there and made Delete's job much easier. That was incredible for me. I've seen him put in those kind of defensive performance, but at the same time going the other way, he was still a threat. So I think taking him off in the second half kind of made us a little bit less potent forward, but we did manage to win the game. Now I would tend to give it to any of those two, but I would just keep them and go straight to the goalkeeper. The young goalkeeper today, he was steady and he did not shake at all. And I'll give him my man of the match because it's not easy to play at Anfield and have all those the firepower of Liverpool coming at you. They were trying everything to score today. Somehow we got lucky. They hit the post a couple of times, but he didn't get jittery at all. He didn't have butterfingers like we are accustomed to have with Bayende or Onana. So I'll give him my man of the match.
Yeah, cool. People, I didn't put Lamins in because Lamins, but two of the goal scorers, we have to put two of the goal scorers there when we win a game. But Lamins did well. So just make sure, if you think that Lamins is your player of the match, make sure you just keep writing Lamins. Let me know in the chat. Big up to Khalees Romadin Lassie. Make sure you check him out at Khalees Romadin Lassie on X. He's honestly, this guy, he's above everything. Politics, world football, music, whatever. All the different sports, yeah. Yeah, Lamins was amazing. Cunha would have been Ahmad, but Cunha game management was top draw. Yeah. His game management, his cleverness was amazing.
He's just a great footballer. He's a great footballer. We need more of him in the team.
Yeah. But yeah, 100%. I thought that we defended like with a 5 when we didn't have the ball. We did to mid to low block. Some of it was interesting, but I would like to have seen Manchester United keep the ball a bit better. But I always said, and I said it in the preview, it's one game. I don't care how Manchester United play, long as they get the win or they get a draw. It's the only game I don't ask about how Manchester United play. So I'm not going to analyze how Manchester United play, other than we saw. Because the two strikers didn't really play up against the Liverpool back four. They didn't know what to do. They were a bit confused. So they thought they were going to play against a target man. They were going to play against Sesko, but they played against two guys who come in a bit deeper, and especially Cunha turning on the ball. But we definitely targeted that Kirkes kid. We targeted him, and we targeted that right-hand side. We targeted, and I thought in that first half, Ahmad and in Burma were having a party there. Honestly, all our attacks came down the right-hand side. And every time Manchester United got the ball, I thought that we were going to score. I genuinely thought we were going to score every time Manchester United got the ball. So, yeah. But, yeah, it was, what a win. What a win. What a win.
It was always going to be that kind of game because, once Arne Slot decided to move his lineup with Van Dijk and Konate, it's all going to be about how if we're going to test them or not, because Van Dijk has been shaky and Konate also has been shaky, and anytime we can test them, as long as they move up the pitch, we'll get some change out of them, and I'm glad we did that today. We didn't do it as much as I thought we would, but we still did it anyway. and then we got the result. This is not the kind of game you come in and you start looking at the performance. It's a rival, and we were in at Anfield, so you take the result and then you just move on to the next game. That's about it. When it comes to the sustainability of the way we're playing, we'll leave to talk about that another day. Next week is a game, Brighton, different dynamic, different dynamic. There's team that are system heavy, so at that point we'll see how Amorim's system fare against Brighton's cohesiveness.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. Yeah, it's going to be a totally different game. Every game tells the story, so it's going to be a totally different game. Totally different game. But I thought the game plan was good. We had to ride our luck. They hit the post 3 times. Gakpo hit the post 3 times, people. So we needed a lot of luck. Let's not get away from that. But
Yeah.
majority of us thought we were going to get smashed. And what I liked about today is that every time we had the ball and we went forward, I genuinely did think Manchester United could score. And I've not seen Manchester United look that threatening for a long, long time. I didn't see
Mm.
Manchester United look that threatening in a long time.
Mm.
Yeah, I
No,
remember here saying there was about the spirit there. There was the beginning, everything. Sometimes you play more with the ball. I thought the goal, how vital was that first goal? How vital was the first goal?
vital.
Vital.
That goal changed the whole complexion of the game. Look, sometimes we don't have a crystal ball. We can look into the future, but that goal might be the difference between us winning today and getting pammed, and we will never know because a minute you score at Anfield, minute one, you take more you take so much pressure away from the team. The crowd just went silent. They were just, it's almost like a soccer punch. The players didn't know what to do. Suddenly, the aura of Van Dijk is gone. And he's looking at his teammate, questioning
May it
everything they're doing.
continue. May it continue. I beg you. May it
So,
continue.
yeah, that first goal is wow.
Yeah. First goal, man. The first goal in Burmo. He took it really well. Obviously, Alisson is injured. Alisson usually really spreads himself. He will make that save. But yeah, in
Yeah.
Burmo, just about got it right. Liverpool fans are moaning about the clash of heads. He should have stopped the game, but I'm so glad he didn't
Nah.
stop the game. I'm so glad he didn't stop the game because it was Van Dijk. It was his own player who fouled him. You know what I mean? It was his own player who fouled him. So,
Yeah, also we have to admit that Arne Slot kind of he didn't make things easy for himself anyway because that loyalty, that sense of loyalty to certain player, even though they're the main man in the team, kind of cost them today because Salah was nowhere to be seen. He
oh my
was
God. Shadow
everything
of a
was
player.
bad.
Shadow of the
Everything was
player.
bad.
Shadow of the
Yeah.
player. Yeah.
Everything was bad. And just also because somebody is box office, like Isaac, his box office and costs a lot more money, doesn't necessarily mean that he get to come in and start right away. Because I think if they had played Eketike, it would have been better for them. But I'm not here to prop up Liverpool or whatever mistake they make. That's their problem. We just take the 3 points and we keep it moving. That's about it.
Yeah. No, 100%. 100%. I thought, yeah. I mean, it was a mad game. I thought we were way better in the first half. I thought we were look more threatening in the first half. I thought we had a bit more control. Even without the ball, we were controlling them. And then in the second half, it's just Manchester United go blitz a bit. Bruno Fernandes getting skimmed past. The positioning of Manchester United. Diego Dalot. Talk to me about Diego Dalot.
Oh, jeez. Somehow this result will
Papering
will
over the cracks.
yeah, will pepper over the crack of some of those individual performance of some of those players. Diego Dalot. When I watch the game, I don't know. There's something about Amorim that I would like to understand. Because even when it came to a point that clearly he was having a bad game and the substitute coming, he moved him to the right hand side. Why? Why don't you just take him off? Mazarawi is there sitting on the bench. It's not like we don't have any better options. So there is a mystery. There's something going on there that I don't quite understand. I know the favoritism card and whatever, but come on, man. How how long are you gonna do something and look at the as a coach you're on the sideline watching a player being detrimental to the team and still indulging that? You get to a point, even Bruno Fernandez, he was just losing the ball at the I think at the point in the second half after Liverpool equalized. He was just losing the ball with no pressure at all on him, and I was looking like, yo, if this continue, Liverpool are going to score a second goal, and it's going to be, a rout. But thankfully, it didn't cost us. And then he went on to produce that marvelous pass at the end. And therefore, we cannot even sit down here
Mhm.
and criticize his overall performance. I guess that's the nature of who we are as a team. We turn up and yeah, we get result where we're not supposed to, and we lose game where we're not supposed to.
Yeah. Big up Efsky. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah,
Ruben
man.
Amarin on Ahmad. Amarim said Ahmad is doing well in this position. He's a perfect for this position. He was upset when I made the change. I was effing fuming. By the way, I did a watch along. Those of you who want to have a laugh, I went to my like family house and watched the game. It was incredible. Made it, but had been warned. There was a lot of one-on-ones in that. A lot of one-on-ones, and that's the reason for his substitution. He would have stayed on. He's very important. No, he would have stayed on. He's very important. I don't get this bit. Somebody just he said
No,
Ahmad is
no.
doing
So what
very
he's
well.
saying,
His
he's
perfect
saying because he
position. He
got a
was
yellow.
upset when I made the change, but he had been warned. Oh, okay, because he got the yellow. No, but
It's
he's
the
not.
yellow.
Yeah, but he's not a crazy guy. He's not a crazy guy like
No, but the
Casemiro.
refs, you can't
Casemiro's
trust the refs
reckless.
though. No, but the
Yeah.
referees, in it, but I don't think that was a yellow anyway. Like what you're saying, I think he's won the
Yeah, that
ball.
was not a yellow. He won the
No, the
ball.
That
studs
was
are a
not
bit
a
up, but
yellow.
especially in a game like this, where look, it's not malicious. He's a nice guy, and look, that is not. So I think just for argument's sake, I wouldn't have brought Doggy on. Obviously, the goal come down that side, which you see it in it. So like I think Amram was right there. He would have stayed on, but I'm happy for him because obviously he's had a bit of a poor time to the season. He had a family bereavement not long ago, and then obviously for Ivory Coast he got a goal and an assist. So recently he's been doing okay. So yeah, happy for him. He was our best player. Could have got the assist for if Bruno had put that chance away in the first half where he just blazed it and it hit the side of the bar. That I was really upset about that. I was there like that was just a perfect opportunity for 2-0. Ahmad could have had a goal or assist, but you can't like that's the thing. But I just mentioned then, bro. You were saying about Bruno. I was screaming at the TV for about 10 minutes in that second half. Yeah, we all know Bruno was just terrible, absolutely giving it away, and that's the bad side of Bruno. When people go
Yeah,
on about him, it's like you play in that position, which isn't his fault. Amram's put him there, but you play there, or like in the first half where Gakpo hit the bar, his position was vacated, and then Ahmad tried to get back, missed the ball. So, but then, like you said, you keep him on the pitch, and he produces a world class pass. That pass is world class. Let's just have it right. If it's an inch to the right or the left, Harry Maguire doesn't get that ball. On Sky Sports, they were saying a lot of players just try to take a touch. Gary Neville says you try to take a touch with that ball there, and a lot of players wouldn't try to settle yourself. But that first time ball there, the defense can't settle. Harry Maguire's onto it, and to be fair to him, he should have scored the winner there last year. So he's got a bit of a redemption for him there, and I'm really happy for Maguire and a lot of things, to be honest. I think a lot of people, a lot of narratives were called today. Massive that we got these two games, and hey, look, funny thing in it, it was like they were saying this on Sky as well. In Arteta's 35th game in charge was that game against Chelsea, where they were all pitted to lose. After that game, he was going to get sacked. He won that game against Frank Lampard's Chelsea, and then that was kind of a turning point for them. Now, I'm not going to get giddy and say this could be it for us, but this was Amarim's 35th game in charge as well, I'm pretty sure. And it's just a parallel in terms of both of the games. The numbers are the same, and a big win over a big team that were expected to beat you. Especially, look, we've never played. We beat Liverpool at champions at Anfield. It's a weird statement to say. We've beat the champions, which are Liverpool, at Anfield. It's crazy. The last time we did that, everyone remembers was it the Rooney header or at Wanfield, one of them two, like 9 years ago. So for these players, it's massive, but it means nothing if you don't get anything next week. I think if we can get 9 points going into the Tottenham game, which is a bit of a big ask, but get 9 points there because Tottenham are, whatever, they're up and down. Nottingham Forest don't even have a manager. Fuck knows what's going on there. And then, we would go into that Tottenham game right at the end. So yeah, well, we'll have to see. But no, man, I can't even put no one put really a foot wrong today. I thought, other than maybe, like I said, I would criticize the manager and say you should have took off Bruno, but then he doesn't, and he produces the assist. So damned if you do, damned if you don't, kind of thing. But one thing I will say, even though I've criticized Amarim, he did tell the media, stick to your narratives. Like, which was, I thought it was quite funny, but it was also true. He said these players are the same before the game started. Because if you want to chat shit about my players before the game, well, it's the same sort of players. Nothing's really changed. And Arne Slot kind of backed it up and said, United are better than what the league table is showing and stuff. And a lot of managers have said that. So you have to put into that account. We're 2 points behind him. We've given Arsenal a big boost, and just take it from here. Just look for next week. We've got one game a week now. We can just ride this out and just hopefully just carry on. Don't get giddy, but just know if you can beat these lot at Anfield, you literally can beat anyone. But you have to play to this level. The concentration, focus, everything has to be at this level now.
Got Edsky, long time no see, bro. I hope
Yeah,
you're
man,
well.
yeah,
I hope family's well.
You too, bro.
Sending love.
Mhm.
I'm glad that you're free tonight to give us some aspect of your match reaction. Big up to Jarvis. Jarvis, I thought you were live 9 o'clock UK, bro. What happened? Did you go live early?
Well, we the MotoGP F1 something, Stu needed to do some work, so we had to reschedule in the last minute. So yeah, it is what it is. But it's we had a great show. We went through all of the goals and the tactics behind it, and what happened. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of the players showed some courage going away at Anfield. It's not always easy. We know it's a hostile environment, playing against the reigning champions, and I know that you said that you wanted us to keep the ball better, but I think we in spells actually did that. We took away the Liverpool pressure.
I think more in the first half.
Yes, in the first half. Second half, it's more about defending. I think Amarim tried to be clever. We reverted. As I said, I came in your live watch along in the halftime, and we talked a little bit about the mid block, the 4-4-2 way we were playing. I think in the second half we reverted from that and started actually going back to the old press play with the pentagon shape with the 3 players up front and the 2 behind. And we got exposed because the 2 up behind went a little bit too high. We stretched out the team, so we played into Liverpool's hands. I don't know if Amarim did that on purpose or not, but I suspect he tried to be clever, but he saw his own mistakes and pulled the emergency brakes in the 60th minutes. He did a couple of subs, but still he couldn't quite figure out to fix it. So, again, I think Amarim wasn't without flaws in this game. But first half, I think he actually set us up quite well. There were also players, I think they run out of gas. You could clearly see both Casemiro and Bruno and even Mason Mount stopped running, in the second half.
I actually think he didn't contribute anything to the game today, Mason Mount. I really didn't think that. I thought that, in the first 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, he got in position to try to challenge, but he didn't. I didn't really see what he contributed on the ball. And football sometimes is also about the ball. But I thought that first half we terrorized them down that right-hand side. I thought that Gherkes is very unconfident. And we found the chinks in the gap between him and Van Dijk. And I thought, we were playing on that because Mbeumo will stand on Van Dijk. And then Ahmad, I thought Ahmad's rhythm and positioning, the rhythm that he got into with the position, I thought it was superb. I thought it was one of the best performances. And I was absolutely devastated. First of all, I was devastated that he got the yellow card. And then I was so devastated that he got substituted. I was fuming. I actually thought we were going to lose the game because it took the threat away from us because Diego Dalot, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. He's by far the worst Manchester United player, and it has been for the whole season. I can't stand him. He's given the ball away. Do you see when we got done? When they went through, Diego Dalot gives the ball away. How many times is he losing simple, easy passes or possession? He can't control the ball. He can't put his foot on the ball. And then we got boom. Remember, same thing against West Ham. We got done 1-2 passes, bam, Gakpo's through and it hits the post.
Yeah, but it's again as you mentioned, it's all
people
about
smash the like on the fucking video, people. I don't need to be fucking here. Smash the like on the fucking video if you're watching. It costs you absolutely nothing. We're shadow banned because we stand up for fucking humanity. So smash the like on the video.
100%.
Go ahead, Jarvis.
I was just going to say that's why I think we tried to press with the pentagon shape. It's not working in the Premier League. We don't have the players for it, especially when we play the pivot with the. But even, you know, we saw it against West Ham in the friendlies in the US tour, and we still see the same problem getting played over with the double pivot, and we actually went through it on Tactical Devils also. I'm not sure quite how Amorim is going to solve this, but I think we need to play more safe. We need to play in the mid block. We can't press high. We don't have the legs. We don't have the players when it comes to the midfield. So we will get punished again and again if we try to do this, especially against better teams. You see, 1 time, 2 time, if we do this, boom, right away. Liverpool had really big chances because of this. So again, I'm not sure why we try this, but we need to stop for it to be better. Play in the 4-4-2 mid block. That's much better. Then we have more men surrounded. And actually, today I think Liverpool, they tried to. You know, there's always play and counterplay. We talk about our tactics, Ruben Amorim's tactics, but Liverpool's tactics, they were trying to pin us down on our left-hand side. Dalot, Luke Shaw, press Maguire over there. They had Isak, they had Salah, Bradley pushed up, and Szoboszlai. So there were, if you look at the heat maps, you understand the dynamic of Liverpool being right-sided and we defensively being left-sided, and I think the brilliant thing of this was you had Gakpo exposed, freed up, one against De Ligt a lot of the time.
He terrorized
because
us.
yes, so we struggle a little bit with that.
Because both him and Salah cheat. They don't come back and support their fullbacks. Both him and Salah cheat. What Arne Slot is doing, what Ten Hag used to do with Rashford and Garnacho, both of them, and Oli used to do that as well, was sometimes with Rashford, and he used to keep them up the pitch so then they can cheat when we win it, get on a transition, and we get there. And he nearly worked for Gakpo. He nearly worked because he hit the post, and on that pass when he counter-attacked us.
It did. I know this is not a tactical show, but let me just bring it up so I can explain. If you look at the heat maps, if you understand, you see here in this area, Maguire was pushed over to Isak. Luke Shaw was in between the rock and the hard place, in between Isak and Salah. I didn't know quite what to do with it. Szoboszlai pushing up in this area. So Liverpool actually tried to build something up and pushed our defense over to the left-hand side and isolating Gakpo and De Ligt a lot of the times, because Ahmad wasn't about to do the defensive work because he had enough trying to stop Kirkes, and Kirkes had a poor game, but Kirkes pushed up a lot of the time, so there was a big space in this area, the channel. And if you see here, I put Mbumo and Van Dijk in this channel, and I think this was Amorim's masterclass. I think drag Van Dijk out in the channels. Then you isolated Konate. We had Cunha. We had Bruno.
He played well, by the way, Konate.
Konate played really well today. So, it was difficult for him being alone in the central area defending, because Szoboszlai didn't defend. McAllister was way too high up the pitch. So Gravenberch, I think he didn't have a good game today. Gravenberch, usually brilliant. And also winning the second balls. We saw it a lot of times, playing long balls from Lammens up to Mbumo. Van Dijk won 9 out of 10 duels. But the second balls, always Bruno drifted over, won it in front of McAllister. Second balls, Ahmad won the second ball. Cunha won the second ball. So, I think this is where the area where we won the game, as you see here, because of this movement. So, tactically, I think it worked quite well, but we had some problems, the Gakpo, De Ligt thing. And, we were overloaded on this side when Bradley went into attack. So, it was more of a defensive game for Dalot, Luke Shaw.
Well, listen, I don't mind that. I don't mind that going to Anfield and doing that. Whatever it is to get the result. Whatever it is, Jarvis, Luani and Etsky. Whatever it takes to get the result at Anfield. I'm not really too bothered about how we play in terms of, but you have to get the result. If you're going to shithousery it, you're going to get the result. You must get the result. Right? You cannot get beat, because what is worse is playing like that defensively and getting beat. But what I thought in that first half, every time we went forward, I thought they were so easy to play against. I've not seen this Liverpool in the last 10 years. I've not seen this Liverpool that are so easy to play against. Even with the three midfielders, I thought they were easy. Manchester United, what you just showed, exactly. We basically turned Van Dijk into a left back.
Yeah.
We turned him into a left back, and he's uncomfortable. Most centre-halves who play centrally, especially the more dominant, who play especially on the left-hand side with his right foot opening his body, we didn't allow him that today. We didn't. And even you can see, even when he was on the ball will always go to Kanate because that's what we did. Big up to Ben is here. Ben, how you doing?
Ben.
Your best friend's buying the beers, I think, yeah? You watched it at home? Big up to you. Where's your best friend? Did he answer his phone? Let's get to 100 likes ASAP, people. Let's get to 100 likes. It costs you absolutely nothing. Go ahead, Ben. How you doing, first of all? How you doing? I can't hear you. You're muted.
Can you hear me now? Yeah? Yeah. First things first, big up to the panel. Good evening, everyone. Obviously, people hit the likes and subscribe, people through Palestine. Yeah, man. I rang the rest of the Scouser boys. They all went to the pub. Only two of my mates who are United fans, they went to the pub, and obviously the rest of the lads were like saying, "Where's the rest of the Man United fans? Like, you should be supporting your team." But I'm like, bro, I know where my club's at, and I knew that I thought we were going to get absolutely bopped today. I was predicting a 4-1 Liverpool, but I rang my friend after the game, all the Liverpool fans, and I have a wee chant, people, and we can spread it the whole social media. 500 million down the drain. 500 million down the drain. Down the drain. Yeah. So you know what? Listen, my thoughts today. Look, I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing that we've got the result, man. I fucking hate the Scousers, man. I fucking hate them so much, man. It's been
Ben was in the chat, by the way. We did a watch along. And Ben was in the chat. Me, Ben, and Jamie Wayne were having absolute kittens. Go ahead.
Look, at the end of the day, people, I'm buzzing we got the win. Sene Lamons. Towards the end, unbelievable at set pieces, bro. Yeah. Holy fuck. Do you know what's crazy? Van Dijk, Konate, all these players were all around him in the net, in the actual goal itself. Do you know what he did? He shoved all them defenders out of the way and punched it away. We have not seen that since Van der Sar. De Gea didn't do it. Onana didn't do it. Bandier didn't do it. No one's done it in the past probably over a decade now. It's been a breath of fresh air, man. Look, I'm just so proud for the kid, man, because he's 23 years of age. I thought he was absolutely outstanding today. I thought Ahmad was outstanding too. I thought Cunha had a wee bit of a spell towards the end. Sesko came on, he did okay, kept it simple, and Bumo as well, decent again, man. That's all the positives out of the way. I'm glad that Amorim obviously got the result, man. He really, really needed it, man. And I'm glad as well because not only because I'm not, ripping Amorim in or out right now, it's because I just can't simply sack a guy, a standalone guy, and then think, right, okay, that's it. We're free from everything. We're gonna win the league. We're gonna win the Champions League. We're gonna play amazing football. No. For me right now, I'm just so happy right now because the more he wins, the more it buys him time in terms of us. It's all on us. It's all on us. Like all eyes turn to us right now in terms of getting rid of these fucking vultures, man. Because I'm not letting any of them bastards off at all, man. At the end of the day, they didn't get Amorim the midfielder. They didn't go and get Amorim an experienced keeper. They didn't go and get Amorim a fucking experienced striker. This is all on them, and this is why I'm turning my attention on to these owners, bro. It's on us. It has to be us. We have to start taking, action and demanding more because it can't. Look, at the end of the day, bro, I'm buzzing that we beat these Scousers, man. I fucking hate them, but I just my mind, like seeing them two there as well, like what do you call them, Barada and Wilcox. They know instantly, like themselves, that shit. We have actually got a lot of stick from these United fans, like maybe we actually might have to invest in in the squad in January and summer and all that shit. Like, but at the end of the day, bro, you had your chance, you failed. You fucking failed, and you're not getting let off the hook, man. You don't deserve another chance. You've already got you didn't sack Ten Hag earlier enough. You brought in Ruben Amorim. He's supposedly your guy. So if you sack him, you've already failed. So that's 2 goals. That's you done. That's you done. But anyways, not that's all on. Like I've got a lot more to discuss about any else. But on the players, Bruno Fernandes. I'm sorry, man. I look, good assist. But you know what, bro? I don't give a fuck, bro. I really don't give a fuck. Absolutely shocking today, bro. The audacity for him to call himself a Man United captain. Shame on him. Delete, bro. I keep saying this man about every week, bro. Make Delete captain. Make Delete. He's a leader. He's a fucking leader, bro. He just makes everyone so comfortable.
Mumbai, are you there? 1 second, Ben. Let me just see if Mumbai's mic works. Mumbai, are you there?
I hope so.
Yeah, he's here.
Yeah, it's fine.
You look like you're calling from another dimension. Carry on, Ben.
I'll just finish it off here. I'm very close. Yeah, I thought Bruno was awful. Diego Dalot, your favorite player, Nerdin. I thought he was absolutely dreadful. Diego Dalot. I just don't understand that how, you know, the likes of Dalot, Shaw, like all these players are still here, man. Like it's a fucking joke, bro. And do you know what I really, really worry about? I don't know where we hit it on the panel. That left hand side of Man United I'm really, really worried, man. We need to actually invest a lot on that left hand side. And Nerdin, you pointed it out. We needed a left wing back. We needed a left wing back, like a proper attacking wing back. And we haven't got that. Like Dorgu, I thought he came on and he was a bit shaky. He really was shaky. And Shaw, man, like, you know, we got really lucky today, man. Like, you know, Shaw got beaten by Isak. He got beaten by Isak, and if it wasn't for Lamons' beautiful footwork,
that was the best save. That's the best.
It was unbelievable, man. But big up everyone. I'm glad we got the fucking.
Just like I said, he makes a lot of saves with his legs, like De Gea.
Bumbaye,
talk to me. Bumbaye was sat next to me, by the way, to watch along. I gave him a headache because I was screaming and shouting because I had headphones on.
That's the first I will ever take part in. Thank you, Dino. That. Yeah, what's the question? I mean, I've walked into Ben's usual.
Here we go.
Nothing new there. What are you asking me about? What I thought about the game?
Yeah. Let's hear it, bro. Let's hear it.
Yeah, it's a great game, man. You know, over the years there've been some stale ones, but I really, really enjoyed that game. I thought we played our part in it. First half we were good, man. Some good things. Obviously, lots to improve. But I thought the right-hand side, you know, was really pronounced today with Mbeumo and Ahmad was really, really good. Nuruddin had he spontaneously combusted when Ahmad was taken off. Blew the roof off the gas. But I didn't mind it. You know, Dalot goes right back. Dogu comes on left back. Not that he was particularly good, but it fits. He's on a yellow. And Casemiro made sense because he's on a yellow, but we defended well, man. We did good shape, pretty compact. We had the 4 guys pressing, and then Casemiro would be on his own, just behind them, and then our defense. It worked, and then Slot started to get one of their boys to drop, and they were getting out relatively easily. But we was all right. They got away from us a few times, which is going to happen when we lose the ball. And you know, we're trying to be in the ascendancy. And the Isak chance, for example, is a good 2-3 passes in there in front of our goal. That's going to happen until we get better at keeping the ball. Keeper was good. Thought Maguire was very good. De Ligt was good. Thought Shaw had, you know, decent games. You know, there was the good, the bad, the ugly, but he played his part in moments. Casemiro had a good game. Everybody pretty much played well. I mean, even Dalot, I know there was some bad things in there, but there was some good things, man. It was a real team effort, and we did get lucky. We rode our luck, but it's a step in the right direction. A very good 3 points. Everybody played their part in some way today. It wasn't a game where either team was, like class, or Liverpool gave the ball away a lot. We did, but we competed. We really wanted it today, and that's what we did in the last game as well. So, for me, it's going in the right direction. They're playing for it, which is the most important thing. You know, they're putting a shift in. So these are the kind of things that I've been saying. If we got another manager, I really want those foundations. And as long as he does that, and if you get 3 points, even if you are riding a bit of luck, it's always good. And to get it at Anfield is an amazing day. I can't really say much more than that.
Yeah, big up Mumbai, big up Shakarian, big up to everybody in the mods, big up the mods, man. Where's Jamie Wayne? Jamie Wayne's taking a night off, man. He's gone to the cinema. He's probably getting pissed as we speak right now. Big up to Jamie Wayne. He's getting absolutely pissed tonight. Listen, it's been 10 years we've not fucking won there. So yeah, anybody have a drink on me, you know what I mean, wherever it is. But yeah, I just want to go around and talk about, and I want you to give me who your mentions are the man of the match. I think Luani, you've done it before, so can you remind the people, please? Now everybody's here. Who your top 3 players for the match, and then your actual man of the match of the game today.
You're muted, bro.
You're mute, Luani.
I better do mute as well, drinking this cuppa.
All right, you go around. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So at the beginning, I thought it was a close call between Cunha and Ahmad, but then I just circled around and just give it to the goalkeeper because of the stops he made, and he was he standard to be counted to the young goalkeeper with that pressure at Anfield. The performance he put out, I'll definitely give it to him, and that's where I am.
Go ahead, Eski. Give me the reasons. Give me the mentions. Who else should deserve a mention from your point of view today? Who do you think player of the match? And what other players and what did they do that impressed you?
My top 3 mentions, I would say, it's underrated one. I think Casemiro today, like, really steadied the ship today. Honestly, all the touches, everything there, and especially he played 90 minutes in Asia. I think he was in Japan or something like that. So he's had to go.
And they have to also take a yellow for Diego Dalot giving the ball away again.
Yeah, he's always taking yellows, isn't it? So, but I think him one's quite underrated one. So I would say Casemiro, I would say Ahmad, just because everything he's done in the game. Obviously, like Amrin said, he said if he didn't have that yellow card, he would have stayed on as well. So feel for him. On top of Ahmad, again, Lamens. I think, and my man of the match is going to be Lamens. And the reason why, similar to Luani, I think, just everything he did in the game, commanding. Do you see that grab where the ball was in the air and he's like grabbed it behind him and stuff? Like, if that was keepers gone previously, like, they're flapping it. They don't know what to do. Ben made a good point of shoving people away, like catching the ball, like just actually claiming the ball, claiming crosses, being vocal and stuff. And you don't get to see, like, there is no metric, there is no data to see when a top keeper is making your defense play better. Their confidence levels go up.
100.
Like De Ligt's been the same player. I think he's been a fantastic player for us. But you can see when he's got someone behind him, he's always on the, I need to protect this guy. Whereas if you've got a top keeper there, you just got to do your job correctly. You don't have to overcompensate. When you start overcompensating, that's when it gets shaky. You have to get back here. I'm constantly looking around. Is my keeper on his 2 feet? Is he throwing it in? Like, what's going on? So for me, San Lamen, I think he should have got a clean sheet as well. I think our defending was a little bit poor for the second goal. He definitely deserved a clean sheet there. But yeah, we take that. San Lamen man of the match. Fantastic. You're mute, Nuruddin.
You're mute.
Go ahead, Jarvis. Who caught your eye today and who was ultimately your man of the match? People, so we need to get to 100 ASAP, 100 likes. Let's go. The target is 150. Let's go. Go ahead, Jarvis.
Well, when it comes to the man of the match, I think there was one player standing out for me, and that was Cunha. He brought another dimension to our play. We haven't seen this before in our team, dropping down, receiving the ball, doing something with the ball, because he kept Liverpool on their toes, because Liverpool didn't know how to handle Cunha. He could drop down, receive the ball, and they could press him. But he's press resistive. You can't take the ball off Cunha. But if you don't press him, he will turn with the ball and run at you. So either way, you were losing out. And I think it gave Liverpool tremendous problems. And because of this, also, he gave us a breather when we needed. He was the only one composed enough. And I like Cunha, he's brilliant. A lot of the times, look at him, how especially when he plays centrally, almost like a midfielder. If there's a duel, he just goes into the body of, for example, McAllister, Soboslai. He just go into the body, controls the opposition first, and then he controls the ball. That's the way how you do it. That's when you play at a different level. You know, you look at Bruno, look at even Casemiro when they try to combat for the ball, they try to win the ball first, and then it's different. Cunha just go check the Liverpool player, take down the ball, and controls it. But because he has balance, he's strong enough, and he's good enough technically on the ball. So, you know, I think Cunha, if he can further develop his game and continue doing this, I think we have a new weapon in our arsenal. Also, other mentions, I would say Senny Lammens. I think he was composed. I think he gave us an extra dimension, some safety. I think as a defender, you feel secure when you have a guy like him behind you. And you know, he makes difficult situations look easy. You know, nothing extraordinary, but how he makes difficult things look easy. And I think that's a strength from a goalkeeper, and it breeds confidence. And we can remember it if it's his second game in the Premier League, and he's a young guy. He's played in the Belgium league from up until now. So, you know, coming in and doing something like this, it's extraordinary. And you know, it's not for everyone doing what Sene Lammens done. So for me, I think he was outstanding. And the third player I will shout out is um, well, I'm a little bit torn who was the best, if it was Mbumo or Ahmad, because I think both of them had a brilliant game. So I will give the third mention to our right hand side, because I think they play together, both Mbumo and Ahmad, and they have found the rhythm. They know each other now. They know the movement, inside, outside, hold the ball, wait, release. You know, and if they can build on this on the right hand side, I think we will be extremely strong. And when Masraoui is back, he can play the right wide centre back. Then we really got a right hand side that the opposition need to look out for. So yes, those are my three mentions. But Cunha is my man of the match.
The nation's trusted tax. Go ahead, Ben. Talk to me.
I think I'm gonna give a wee quick shout out to Maguire today. I thought Maguire actually did. No, but it's not only that, Nurden. I thought Maguire was very aggressive. Like normally, what our centre backs would do is push and like, get aggressive into the midfield. He actually did that a lot today, and as well as De Ligt. So I'm actually going to give, and he did really well, like, you know, defensively in the set pieces. Like every set piece Liverpool were having against us in the corners, I was really, really worried, man, because, you know, they've got Van Dijk, they've got Konate, they've got so many like physicality, they've got height and stuff. So I think Maguire deserves a shout out today. Big up to him, man. Not the Ligt, man. Like, do you know what the scariest thing is, man? Like the Ligt's performance is just gonna be in the shadow with like these like the media and everything, man. I thought De Ligt was just outstanding today. But you know what? I'm not gonna give to De Ligt today. I thought De Ligt, he made one mistake, and that was the Liverpool goal. I think he went a wee bit too late towards because he was the one that kept who was it that scored Gapco onside. But you know, it was a common mistake. But like, you know, he needs to fix that up, so he does. But look, I'm not going to get on to him because he was a cracker today. But I think my man of the match today was and Ahmad had a really good game too. But I would have given it to Ahmad if he hadn't come off. But I think I'm just going to give it to Le Mans because he's a kid. It's a hostile environment. The one thing I didn't like today from Le Mans, but I'm not going to put it on to him because it's not his fault. You know, it's the captain's fault because, you know, you see the captain always like waving to him, telling him to like hoof the ball up. So there was a times where Maguire was free in the central area. There was times where De Ligt was free, you know, a simple pass. There's just too many long balls. But I'm not putting it down to him. I'm putting it down to the captain, and I'm putting it down slightly to the manager. But I'm gonna give it to Le Mans anyways because like to do that, 23 years of age of a keeper against, quite frankly, one of the most hardest places to get a result.
Yeah.
Sunday Le Mans is my man of the match.
Yeah, big up. I've not given it to Lamont. I've give it to Ahmad because I thought the first goal was so vital, and to play that ball to Mbeumo was so vital to get that goal. I thought that settled us, put Liverpool under extreme pressure. They've been under pressure already because they lost 3 games in a week before the international break, and it gave us the base to play from. Go ahead, Bumbaye. Who's your player of the match, and who gets the fair mentions? Because on another day, we rode our luck. They win, like they missed 4 big chances.
Yeah,
they hit the post 3 times. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, there's no getting away from it. One of those attempts at goal, whether it's Salah, Gakpo, had 2 golden chances, especially the header. It's a different game. But that aside, I thought the keeper, he's obviously giving you a sense of security. But Bruno was saying to him, you need to come off your line. That's one thing that today, I'll just pick a hole in his performance. That Isak chance, for example, he's got to come off his line. If we're going to play a high line like that, he has to. He's going to have to develop his reading and when he needs to come out and clear those balls. He doesn't come out.
He's got to realize he's playing with shit defenders like Luke Shaw.
No, bro, it's not that. When you play a high line and you play this type of football, and you
that wasn't a high line. We were really deep, Mumbai. I really needed to remember it wasn't a high line. It wasn't a high line. We were mid to low block, and Konate split us.
There was 2.
Konate split us with 1 pass to Isaac. And then to get the facts right, Jarvis will back me up.
I don't care. Listen, the guy needs to come off his line. If we're going to play a high line, you have to read those balls. This is an observation, not a criticism.
We didn't play a high line.
And Bruno said to him, when he had the Isaac chance, the ball's whipped through, he's got to read that. He said to me to come off your line. You need to be clearing that. You'll see as the weeks come by if I'm right or wrong. Okay, that's just all I'm going to say on that. Thought De Ligt was good. Maguire positionally was very good, and he did a lot of what Maguire can give you. Good selection today, man. Putting Maguire instead of Euro, because we were going to be compact, we were going to be deep at times, and there was going to be a lot of stuff coming into the box. So I think Rube read the game well, and Maguire stood up. I thought Shaw had some very good moments and some bad ones, but it's not easy at Anfield, man. Casemiro was very good. I thought Bruno, his performance today was good. Wasn't amazing. I mean, that assist though is out of this world for me. There's not another player on the pitch that's going to be able to give you that. I thought Mbeumo was all right. Cunha I thought was okay, but Ahmad is my man of the match. I thought every time he got the ball, he's got that aura about him where it gets you a little bit excited. And he gave him a bit of a torrid time on the right. Him and Mbeumo did work really well together. I think Ahmad actually is better than Mbeumo as an attacker, personally, but I understand how that's working. Mbeumo seldom beats his man. He had a lot of space today, and I've seen it often with him. He's a good player, but he doesn't beat his man. He's easily taken off the ball, and he hasn't got the pace, in my opinion. But he's good though. He works hard. But Ahmad is my man of the match today.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd like to go back to the tactical aspect of the game. If you guys,
we'll go back. Go ahead, Jarvis.
No, yeah, but what you were saying, Luwani?
Yeah, I wanted to go back to the tactical aspect of the game and underline what Jarvis said about the second half when it looked like we resort to a high press, and that kind of fractured the team and allowed the Liverpool to play through our midfield. Is something that Amorim will have to avoid. It looked like the mid block to low block suit us more, and also the fact that they mentioned to Cunha and the profile of player he is. In the last preview, I think between Ben and us, we were talking about if Mason Mount was suited to that left hand side in this game particularly, or is he going to be Cunha? But then I was talking about this game particularly will not suit Mason Mount because he's a system player, and this game is not designed for a system player. This game is going to be won on an individual performance, and Cunha will be a better fit. And because of the kind of player he is, you can take the ball down and you cannot take him off him unless you commit a foul on him. And we need a little bit more of those players in the team. Now the issue I have with Amorim is Diego Dallo, and the fact that he keeps starting him, and Diego Dallo is not really giving us an outlet, and even defensively he's shaky. But let's not get it wrong. Let's not get it. Let's not. We can take the result, but let's not get too giddy over it because Anislov played into our hand today. He did. In Liverpool, when you look at Liverpool team, it's still uh, they're still a press team, a counter press team, and they haven't shaken that off since their previous coach left. And this is Arne Slot trying to transition them into a possession team. And you could see they don't have the right profile for that. Yes, Mo Salah, Gakpo, and even Isaac to a certain point are players that are they powerful runners and they thrive with spacing behind. And giving the ball to their midfielder and daring their midfielder to break down our mid block today is not something they are used to. If you take Gravenberg and the other two midfielder McAllister and Soboslai, they're just runners. They don't have a Reinders, they don't have a Rodri, they don't have maybe a Phil Foden, anybody that can really play between the line. And that was
I think Gravenberch has the finesse, but that's okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it was very difficult for them today to break us down, and because that's not the kind of team they are, and we just rode our luck. But despite that, they still create a lot of opportunity, way too much opportunities for my liking. That's why next week I'm a bit worried because when we face Brighton, it's a team that play with a different dynamic. I watched their game yesterday, and I'm just afraid that our lost son, Mr. Welbeck, who's in the form of his life, could come back and haunt us.
Yeah, I think like we did really well. Like the majority of Liverpool's attack was from the left hand side. Like Cody Gakpo was phenomenal today, but from our like when I mentioned
He
at the start,
always turns up against Manchester United.
he
By the
always
way.
he always turns up as
Liverpool
well, man.
fans have been saying that he's not that great. He's not been that great. He's been on a
No,
lot of pressure.
he hasn't been great at all this season. But look, we can get on to like Luke Shaw and Diego Dallo. You know, them two players obviously because they're on the left hand side. But you know, defensively, like they kept Salah off the radar, and that's a positive. But at the same
I'm
time,
sorry.
like
I'm sorry, Ben. I
yeah,
could have
yeah,
kept Salah quiet. Salah is
I know,
the shadow of the
and
player.
he's not. I know,
He's
I know,
the
I know.
shadow of the player, mate.
Yeah.
I know, 100%. But I just think, like, yes, obviously he's been dreadful this season, man. But it's just like there was opportunities we had on the ball with Dallo and Luke Shaw, and like we just miss passes so many times, man. Like if there's no one available, we just hoof it up in the air, man. Like, you know, we could become a really, really solid team, man, if we just build more strength on that left hand side, man. If we have competent midfielders that don't always, you know, get worried on the ball, like Bruno and Casemiro. I thought Casemiro was quite shaky today, but you know that right hand side, man, it's near enough perfect, man. Like you've got Delit, you've got Euro, you know, two players that are very comfortable on the ball. You've got Ahmad and Bumo. We're seeing this chemistry like build up drastically. And then on the left hand side, you've got Luke Shaw and Dorgu or Dallo. Like, you know, there's just no chem there, man. Like where's the overlaps? Where's the urgency? Like where's the link ups with Cunha, like on the left hand side with Mason Mount in the first half? Like, you know, this is why, like in these next few transfer windows, I'm sorry, man. Like with yes, we could talk about the midfield. The midfield is the biggest issue in this system, but this left hand side of Manchester United, it's very, very, very weak, and clubs are only going to expose us even more, man. They're going to target it way, way more, and that's where I'm sitting at right now. I just think Dorgu and Diego Dallo is just not enough. It's really not enough.
I'm not an Amorim believer at this point, but I can see the value in his system and what he's trying to do in terms of his system can turn up well if we have a certain profile of player like Cunha, for example, because this system creates a lot of isolation in the front and a lot of transition situations. So if we have players like Cunha and players like Ahmad that can use the ball very well in such a way, we can keep that ball up front, or basically good dribblers and good players that can like score a goal and keep the ball properly. I think there is value in this system. I just don't know. Sometimes he does some things to negate his own system in terms of picking up his personnel. Because had he switched Dalo for Dogo today, I think he'll give a new a different dimension to that left hand side. I truly believe that, because Dalo doesn't give us anything going forward.
Yeah. I hear it.
Do you want to come in?
I'm trying to underplay.
No.
Esky, I'll let you come in, but I'm trying to underplay. I'm trying to not get overexcited, because I remember Massimo Taebi being man of the match at Anfield and then getting sold after a couple of months later because he had a terrible, terrible goalkeeping. So I'm not trying to big alarm him up too much. I thought he did the basics right. I thought he made the saves right. He's still a young goalkeeper. But tactically, what else did you see today that you thought, you know what, I see this bit of the team working? Because at times it was helter-skelter for me. I don't care what anybody tells me. Bruno and Casemiro going forward, it's not sustainable. I don't care what anybody tells me. I played in midfield. I've watched midfielders all my life. Bruno and Casemiro midfield is never going to convince me. We wait till the cows come home. But what do you think worked today?
It depends, Norodin. It depends, because last week we were talking about that, right? And I said the only way that works is if we keep it compact. Well, if you can keep a team compact, a midfield compact,
even when we get compact,
you can
the quality of other
weaknesses.
teams will dismantle us, Luane. I'm sorry to say. If other teams have quality, they will dismantle us. They will dismantle us.
There is a case to be made about that. But today, the weaknesses start appearing only when we fracture the team by trying to press them high. That's when we start seeing the glaring deficiency. But even after Amorim rectified it and changed Casemiro for Ugarte, we still kept it compact. Who would have known that a double pivot of Ugarte and Bruno will work? But it still work. So it's all going to be about the tactic and how Amorim approach the teams.
Do you know what's crazy as well? Bradley came off, and obviously Arne Slot went for it, and they were playing a 4-2-4 formation. And I knew instantly, I was like sending to my dad and to my brother, who's also a United fan. I said, look here, watch this. This is going to be a bastification of football right now. This is going to go end to end, because Liverpool have two people in midfield. They had Wirtz, who's a number 10. I don't believe he's a midfielder. And who was the other one? Gravenberg. And I knew instantly that this was going to be end to end. And what we seen was Man United actually, get into so much space, and Liverpool as well getting into so much space. So this is what I'm saying. Nureddin's point is just spot on. We need 3 in that midfield, regardless of the system going forward, man. You just cannot play. I mean, if you're going to try and play a 2-man midfield, you just need 2 players that just can work off each other and just balance. We just need balance in that midfield. It's just, you look at that midfield, man, it's just, there's just no balance at all. Like, the only balanced midfielders you could probably think of is, well, maybe Kobe Mainu and maybe Ugarte, man, because Casemiro just hasn't got the legs, man, to play a 2-man midfield. And that's the issue, man. So as soon as we seen the 4-2-4 formation that Liverpool played, that was just, that there tells you exactly that no top football club in the Premier League or in the world play a 2-man midfield and can be successful in it.
But for me, I think it's a case of their weaknesses played into our strengths today. Our biggest strength
Yes.
is the Mbeumo and Ahmad relation on the right side. We've seen that throughout the season,
100%.
even when early on we've not been playing that well. So if their weakness is Kirkes and we attack that side, then it was great for us. Yeah, again, I seen the lineup and I was telling my best mate, I said, look, if I see Bruno next to Casemiro or and it's just two man in here and Bruno playing deeper in this midfield, I'm not going to be happy. So I wasn't happy at the start of the game, and I'm still not going to be happy because next week he's going to do the same thing. For me, he needs to understand that if your best player was Bruno last year, people hate him or not, right? His most effective position, we can all agree, is further forward. It is not in this deep line role. So for me, he has to either play instead of Mbeumo or Cunha, depending. I think maybe Cunha, he should play instead of him. And in this game, let's say, obviously we've won it, right? So it doesn't really matter. But the way I would have approached it was I would have put Bruno on the left-hand side and Mbeumo on the right, so he's got the relationship with Ahmad, and Cunha up top. I wouldn't have played Mount because I'm there like, Mount was really picked today for his off-the-ball running. And Amorim did say in the game, in the press conference at the end, they asked him why not Sesko. And he says that if I played Sesko when Cunha there, it's a bit too, it's more easier to defend against. So I think with Mount, it was sort of the off the ball running and stuff ability that I really wanted, and Mount's just a bit, I don't know, a dynamism or whatever. So I think he was trying to do that, but they all rotated really well, them three. So I think today it was just a case of Liverpool's weakness played into our biggest strength. It's not going to be like against Brighton, we won't be seeing like attacks down that side and us doing so well down that channel. We might do just because it's our best link up right now, but in terms of like the midfield and stuff, yeah, it does need to change because again, like when I was saying, when Gakpo has that first chance, Bruno's vacated the position. He's more central to the left, and then that big gap's there, and Ahmad's got to come across, misses the ball. Could have easily been 1-1 there. We've seen it in pre-season with West Ham. We've seen it so many times this season. When you see something and it's just constantly happening, it's only a matter of time until you get undone. Liverpool could have scored a couple more goals today. We're talking about different. We're all Saturday saying United shit, we're shit, get him out. It's the same kind of thing. So I think, yeah, we did get away with it a little bit today, but I still think we did deserve the win. I think, again, tactically, what I think that they pointed out on Sky Sports, which is really nice, but like we're all saying here, is using Van Dijk to be a left back, because if they do the man-for-man pressing and you have Mbeumo again against him there, he's just dragged him out of position, runs off behind him, and he's managed to do that. Virgil's not been the greatest recently, so I think attacking their most out-of-form player is also good as well. And then, look, all of us, the funny thing is, all six of us on Saturday, no one's mentioned Mohamed Salah. He scored 16 and 17 against us, right? He's been the most deadly player in this fixture. He was anonymous. I think him being so bad has really affected us in this game, because it's like us having Højlund last year. We would go into games and we'd have 10 men effectively every fucking game. And I think Liverpool are a bit suspect of this now. I think they're going into games and they've got 10 men. So Salah not being as effective on that side, Kirkes being shit. So it's just their whole, that side is really bad for him at the moment. There's nothing really going on. So for me, it was a bit luck, like I said, but I think tactically we could just take great pride in, defensively look great. Again, we should have kept a clean sheet, I think. And midfield, we actually played all right. There were some nice times where there was some nice first touches and stuff. And obviously, Jarvis mentioned about Cunha. He allows us to do that. When you pass it into him, it sticks and he knows what to do. A couple of times he held the ball up and got out of sticky situations, a bit like Kobe does. When you give Kobe the ball in the number 10 position, you're like, wow, how's he wriggled out of there? How's he dribbled and made the correct pass? It's that kind of skill that we were lacking. So I think we've really seen, this is one of Cunha's best games that I've seen, definitely, the way he was able to just handle the ball and stuff. So I do see that the system, the semblance of it working, but ultimately there's a fundamental issue, and it is that two-man midfield. We just played well against Liverpool today because of a number of factors. Kirkes was shit, Salah was anonymous, and Gravenberch didn't have the best of games, and he was subbed off. Then we kind of controlled it a little bit more in there. But for me, yeah, I think we just need to make a fundamental change going forward. It's not sustainable, but it might be a case where if we just outscore teams, then it might be okay, because we have enough firepower there to outscore teams. It's not been working that well this season, but we created a lot of chances. Even this game, again, we should have scored like 3 goals and no one would have complained. We should have been 2-0 up in the first 25 minutes or something like that, which is unheard of. So I think once the team started, what I did say at the start of the season as well was, with all these signings in and stuff, we might look bad for a couple of months, which has been true. Around November, December time, coming up to Christmas, once this team finds form, once this team finds goals, and when we get in there and start firing, I don't think we'll stop scoring. I think we'll be a high scoring team. That's the way it is. I think if your midfield's kind of shit, if you're a high scoring team, it doesn't matter if you concede one here or there on the counter, it's okay, but you have to score first. Like Arne Slot said, it said the worst position you can be is when Man United score first, because of the formation and everything. It took them a lot to break us down, and even again, I think it was just down to a bit of lapse in concentration with defending. So overall, it's a good base to go on, but yeah, we need a midfielder desperately, and trying to go for Conor Gallagher on deadline day just speaks volumes. We wanted to get one, but regardless of the play, that's what I'm saying, regardless of who it was, they said on deadline day, oh yeah, shit, we need a DM, which was embarrassing. We should have got one of the number 10s first. Well, we got Cunha first, who was signed last year, and then we should have got a DM straight away, and then got Mbeumo after, which took 4 or 5 weeks. So.
Yeah.
Bringing it back to tactics, it was okay, but we can't get too giddy because, like I said, Liverpool have been riding their luck for weeks. They've not been that good. And if they had lost some of the games they were meant to lose previously, then the narrative here is, oh, well, it's a shit Liverpool team anyway. So it's one of them things. But tactically, I think we did. I think it was more the mental side of the team today was the best side of us, not tactics. Because on any other side, once we went 1-0 down, would have crumbled. So I think it's the mentality today. Like someone mentioned before, having Delete as captain. I think it was you, Ben. I fully agree. Yeah. Fully agree. He's been captain for other teams, youngest captain of Ajax. And the idea of Martinez coming back. I forgot Martinez. We still got Leacher, man. Leacher playing next to Martinez, absolutely class. So I think we need to have a solid defense, score these goals, and the midfield will sort itself out in time. There's nothing we can do right now in coming up to November. I have to pray that we do something in January, which no one's holding their breath, right? So we're gonna have to just ride it out. Try and outscore teams and fucking hold on at the back. And that's literally it. It's unsustainable, basically, Nuruddin, but we're going to have to do with what we have in it. Like you said, 2-man midfield, it's just not going to work. But with the mentalities there, we can score the goals, keep clean sheets, we'll win games.
But my question to you guys is, okay.
I actually think, let me just come in there 1 second, Jarvis, and then you can come after me. I actually think today, they weren't that much like left alone because Cunha was dropping a lot. Mason Mount was dropping a lot. And on the other side, Ahmad was taking up different high positions, and sometimes he was leaving the lit to be exposed, and that's the risk that you take. So I don't mind the risk in football, but on the long term, because we can't play this the way we play today against every team. We cannot play this, and I agree with Tamer actually. Next week we can't play this type of football because trust me, Brighton will expose us. If we give too much space for Brighton to create something, they will expose us. So, yeah, definitely, we got to play them in different. For me, at this moment in time, Diego Dalot has been all season towards the end of last season, being an absolute liability. If I'm a fellow team player, he's not giving me any confidence to play. But I do think that 4-4-2 box worked for a certain part. And that's the best time in the first half where we kept that possession, was the time that where Cunha's dropping. You've got on that side there, you've got Cunha, Bruno, Casemiro linking, because Casemiro at times actually went to the left-hand side to play from that area to be able to pop it off and get it. So we were getting a bit of a room. And obviously Liverpool's midfield is nowhere where it was like last season, by the way. They're not the 6.5 on Dawson on the other at this moment in time. There's nothing actually of their team that's functioning at the moment. I do think for Liverpool fans who might be watching this, I genuinely think all of this the players that you bought this season, they have to come on. You have to go back to Robertson on that side. You have to go back to Bradley, the Irish lad to play on the right back. You have to go back to Kanate and
Ekitike up top as well, man. They should be starting
up front. Yeah, definitely Ekitike.
Eagles, there's problems.
Yeah, 100%. When he came on, he looked dangerous. And I think you bring Isaac on, you bring Wirtz on, you bring Frimpong on in the game, but you need to get a structured set aside. I think that's what it is. I think Elise wanted us to talk about what's going on with Van Dijk. I think Van Dijk's been one of their best players today. I thought we troubled him. Tactically, we maneuvered him. We didn't play anybody against him. We maneuvered him and turned him into a left back because we know that Cortez was just going to attack. And we made him look better than he is today, actually. Today, we made him look better than he is. But in terms of defending a low block, Manchester United can't play like this tactics all the time. 100 million%. We rode our luck even today when we did the mid to low block and we sat in there, we defended like dogs in the second half. That second half, to me, the reason why I was fuming that it took Ahmad off, because then we lost all of that type of threat on the right-hand side. Yeah. And again, Cody Gakpo, and then Ekitike was coming and nobody was tracking the runners. Everybody was staying. And the reason why I believe Liverpool lost the game today is, let me count the players to you. They bought on Wirtz, they bought on Ekitike, they bought in what's his name? The Scouse lad who plays the midfield.
Curtis
Jones. They had Mo Salah, they had Isaac, they had Cody Gakpo.
Frimpong.
And then Frimpong. So that is 7 attacking-minded players, non-defensive. The reason why they conceded that header is because they don't have players who attack the ball in a defensive, structured way. They didn't have that. And that's why we won. But I think he did Arne Slot did exactly the same thing as Amarin did against Brentford by throwing on too many attacking players, and there's no structured way where they can play football to be able to pass the ball to each other and create chances. It's really difficult when all of you want to get on the ball. Every one of those wants to be the hero and get on the ball, but there's no structured way of playing to them. I think Liverpool are lacking structure. I genuinely think that, but this is welcome to Manchester United. Manchester United have been lacking foundation and structure for a whole season, and that's why it's taking us nearly a whole year to win 2 Premier Leagues back to back. But go ahead, Jarvis.
Yeah, I was just going to take a little debate on the midfield too, and you know, have a round around the table and ask people what they think, because you know, you got to realize we play a midfield 2 and a back 3. Liverpool, they play a back 2 and a midfield 3.
Yes.
So you gain something and you lose something when it comes to this. Also, when you look at the how football has evolved, especially the last couple of seasons and this season to an extreme, how we are reverting back to, I would say, 80s and the 90s type of football. It's not about possession anymore. It's about directness, long balls, long throw-ins, corner kicks, set pieces, routines, everything. So the game isn't played in midfield anymore the way we are used to. So the question is, are we actually ahead of the curve playing the midfield 2, or are we behind the curve playing a midfield 2? Because I think we struggle, yes, but it's not because of the midfield 2. It's because of the players available when we play Bruno and Casemiro, because we know they are not good enough. And the same goes for Ugarte, and I have question marks about Menu. So for me, yes, maybe we need to, as Eski said in January, revitalize this midfield, but you know, in time, let's say if we sign player like Baleba, Thunderbirds, Wharton, Ullman, I don't know, there's so many options out there. We will actually see this working in a much better setup, you know. So I just want to, I'm just
definitely
curious
agree.
to hear what you guys think.
The balance of Bruno and Casemiro does not work whatsoever. It's specifically about the player profiles, but go ahead.
Yeah. It is, yeah.
I personally think
so my question is should the debate be on the midfield 2, or should it be on the players available?
I personally think I would like to see United play midfield 3. I really think that. I genuinely do think that. I think this 3 at the back is a gimmick, and I think the centre halves get drawn out. I think the wing backs, other than Ahmad today, they don't give enough, because on the other side, our wing backs don't play. The wing back on the other side doesn't play. So I would like to see, even that, if that wing back then tucks into midfield and goes into midfield and helps and makes it a 3, I will support that.
I think, do you know what? Having Martinez back might actually help this whole midfield thing as well. I'm not saying play him there, but, you know, like stepping into that position, because obviously we've got Euro there. I think he's been brilliant as well. But, you know, I think him on that left side, he might come out a little bit more. He might do the front foot defending and say, Delete, right, you stand back. I know Delete likes to maraud on a little bit, but I think having Leacher there might actually be a thing. So for me, I would keep, because you look at Glasner, like sick manager, their team's doing absolute madness. Well, look at the player profile. You got a potential world-class player there in Adam Wharton. He's positionally sound. The problem is with Bruno, he's not positionally sound. There's so many examples of him just not being there. Cass will be in the position that he's meant to be. He can't cover the whole of the midfield. He's in his zone. Bruno isn't. He's the attacking one, like we're saying with Slot. All these guys want to go forward and do their own game. But if you don't have that person in there, it's not going to work. And then with Nuruddin, it's a case where you're saying if you go to a 3, but if you coach a team with the 3 midfield, but then you buy the midfielder for your 2, then you revert back, then the team's a bit like, well, do we do the 3? Do we do the 2? Is this just a waste of time until you get the 2? So from Amarim's perspective, you kind of just have to keep doing it until you get the tools available, which is weird to say. You shouldn't do that, but then, you know, you're in a catch-22 basically, because if you don't do that, everyone's going to say, what do you know about tactics, or you don't stick to your principle. But then, you know, if you stick as a 2 now and then you put Bruno in there, then we complain either way. Either way, there's a complaint to be made until the personnel changes. So I think we can keep it the same, but the personnel does need to change. And you made a good point, Jarvis, actually, about going route 1 and stuff, because I made a point about look at all the top 4 teams now, or like 5 teams, whatever. You got Sesko, Højlund, Gyökeres, Isak. These guys are traditional forwards. The last 10 years, we're used to all the goals and all the focus coming from the wide players cutting in. Now it's a case where these guys are your guys. Like, it comes off, even if they're not scoring. Look at the way Arsenal play. Before, you have 2 man on Saka, Now you have 2 man on Gyökeres and Saka's more free. So eventually, so even though he's not scoring or assisting or doing that, it affects the team as a whole. So I do hear what you're saying with football going to that, but I think that we just need too many pieces. It's like we're not ahead of the curve. We're trying to be ahead of the curve, and the pieces aren't there. In his head, we are ahead of the curve, but in reality, we can't see it. And until that fixes, until he gets what he wants, I don't think we'll see it.
You know what's crazy though? Like, see most of these top teams like City, like Arsenal, like when they play it from the back, like play it through phase one. You know what they tend to do is one of the fullbacks invert into midfield. So what I would like to see is because we've tried that before under Ten Hag, we had always Diego Dalot or Luke Shaw invert into midfield, and we've still seen the same shit. Like in a 3-man midfield, well, technically a 2 because Bruno was so far up, so he was. But I generally, like I said it like months and months and months ago, even like under like when Amram started, I said, look here, a lot of people are going to get onto the system. Like I 100% agree. We are so wide open, it's ridiculous. The space is there, but I would love to see what 2 proper midfielders would actually be like in the system. And look, if we're still open, then I would say, right, okay, let's restart, let's reset, let's change the whole system, get rid of Amram, all this. I guarantee you right now, if we had like the deluxe of an Ander Herrera and a Michael Carrick in that midfield, 100%, I would absolutely be saying to you, we'll be winning this midfield battle like pretty much most of our games. Like I'd say that comfortably because Herrera's not really an attacking minded midfielder. He's just a bit of both. He loves going back, tracking back. He loves going forward. See when Michael Carrick keeps the ball simple. Like if he's under pressure, you know, slow down the tempo. Like, you know, those types of, you know, we just need to find those types of players. And like I said, like Baleba, Wharton, Zanderberg, you know, all these Anderson. Like if we, I just want to see what them 2 players, like if we get two players like similar profiles, and then we'll take it from there. And if it's still bad, look, we just got to like change system. It's not going to work. But until I see that, I really can't comment on, you know, the 2-man midfield will never work. It will never ever work because we can't see that. Like, you know, Casemiro is old. He's too like his legs are near enough gone. Bruno Fernandes is not a 6 or an 8. You know, he's technically a false 9. So let's just see. But you know, as well as that, we're not even talking much about the, you know, the left hand side. Like, you know, say for example, you had like an Ashley Young in his prime, like, you know, or a Ryan Giggs back in the day. You know, both of them players, like in their prime, like they were both attacking minded and defensively minded. If we had an Ashley Young, even like I'm not going to get too far ahead, obviously with Ryan Giggs, anyone would love Ryan Giggs, but even an Ashley Young, if we had Ashley Young today, the chemistry and the overlapping with him and Cunha would be unbelievable. It'd be phenomenal because Ashley Young he could just do both the basics right, and he can overlap. You know, I just think this left hand side is just like I think today's really caught my eye today. Like yes, the midfield's awful, but this left hand side is just a massive concern. Cunha's literally just sat there. You know, he's not really affected at all. He's not affected in the game because the left wing back in Dorgu and Dalot, they're not linking up with him at all. I just really worry about this left hand side. But until we see a proper 2-man midfield, you know, two new signings, I can't comment on, you know, whether the system will work or not. Really, I just can't. That's for him to find out. Really, but big up.
To chip in on that discussion on the midfield.
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome, man. Tell us about what you think about the game. Big up. Welcome to the URT.
Thank you.
Big up.
No, thank you for letting me come on. No, as like, there's not a lot to add after listening for an hour because you've all kind of said it all. But yeah, like everyone busting to win, but also think Dalot is a headless chicken. But yeah, I think a cool thing that we haven't had for years and years is when we have won big games like against City or against it has always been like a Rashford show or a certain player's show that has done the win and scored. But the fact that we have Cunha, who in my opinion was man of the match or at least a strong contender, without having an assist or goal, just because of him being bloody good. We hadn't had that player in years, because when like Rashford or Bruno or Martial or Greenwood or someone else was man of the match, it was always because they have scored or anything. But Cunha was just sometimes a one-man attack today. And the fact that people all around, millions around the world, are saying like he is a strong man of the match contender when he didn't have an assist or score, I think that is a player also we have been missing, that isn't afraid to show personality. Not because I think players like Bruno and Rashford and Greenwood or anyone the last 8 years, they aren't afraid to show character or show personality when it suits them. But I think Cunha and Mbuma are the types of players who show a lot of character and personality when it suits them the least, when they have all the excuses in the world. I feel like they just have it within them. They don't need outside to feel good, or the temperature of the weather has to be nice, or they are their own biggest critic. And I feel like I love that about the new signings.
I think you make a good point, Helgen. Also, that's why I mentioned Cunha. Another thing is, already you and I, we talked about Cunha the other day, and how tense to look. He had just one thought in mind, and that was scoring goals. And I think he have felt the pressure. But what he showed today tells me that he actually has adjusted to be a Man United player. And I think Amorim has instilled something into him. It's not like Wolves where he has to be the hero, but you need to make yourself available and play good. You have to take every chance you have on the ball and try to do something. So it's not just about scoring goals, and I think that's a good thing. I will give Amorim some credits for how Cunha actually have come good, and also
definitely played with a lot of composure today, a lot of composure for
yes.
I think it was at Sunderland when he came on. He was trying to score. He was trying to impress, and I think at home he's feeling like it's not scored at Old Trafford yet. So, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and
I like to. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
No, you go on.
No, I just wanted to go back to that question that Jarvis asked about the midfield three versus the midfield two. Personally, I don't believe in the midfield three, because today, for example, Liverpool line up in a 4-3-3. The thing with the midfield three is that you play that kind of formation if you're proficient with the ball, if you can keep the ball like City used to do, or if you are very proficient in a press. If you can press, you have a whole bunch of runners, just like Klopp used to do with the old Liverpool. Now, the thing with that kind of formation is all three midfielders can get dragged to one side of the pitch, and then the opponent can switch the play, which is what we did with them today a lot, to a certain extent. So I think the game itself is going away from that, and is getting to a point where it's only going to be important if you can keep the ball well enough, long enough to move it into the areas of the pitch where you can create an overload. And that's if you look at Amorim's system, he's looking to create his overload or his isolation on the wing. And it doesn't matter how many people the opponent have on the midfield. As soon as that ball moves to the wing, they're going to have to split up those three midfielders and go chase. And at that point, you have the advantage. So I don't believe too much in the midfield three thing versus the midfield two. It's only going to be about how good you guys are keeping the ball. Of course, the profile of players that you have come into play, and it helps if you have good profile player like Cunha, like Ahmad, people who are proficient on the ball and can keep it, versus having somebody like Bruno who just treat the ball like a grenade. And I think he's one of our biggest problem right now. If you take away his assist and his extraordinary way of playing, he is our biggest problem right now in that system. Because if we need to be proficient with the ball and do something out of it, I believe Kobe Mino is more suited for that kind of team. But it's not gonna happen, is it?
Yeah. And I feel like I heard the discussion about the two in midfield and three in midfield and everything. My kind of stance on that is like I think good players can play whatever formation, and shit players are shit in every formation. I think it's kind of as simple as I have thought about the formation, the system, the discussion about everything. I think the details are a lot less. They are a lot more like minuscule, if that's the word. Like I feel it's about someone switching off in the back post, someone not picking up the runner. I don't feel like so. I imagined a world. I was so frustrated and pissed like a couple of weeks ago when we lost to I think it was Brentford, and I just imagined, okay, let's say if Amorim came in and played 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3, and the exact same thing happened, the exact same people would be saying, why is he playing the same way that didn't work with Ten Hag? Because people are running through our team. We should try something different, everyone would have said. So my point is, you can play with our team. You can play 4-3-3, 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1, 5-3-3. No, okay, that doesn't make sense. But you get my drift. I think you can play whatever formation you can.
Yeah, you have to have the competent players to be able to play the positions. Yes,
we would be shit. We would be shit no matter what, because.
But I believe coaches can play formation that suits the players that we have 100 million%. I think two things can be true at the same time.
Yeah,
but I know you need to head off.
Yes,
Nice
yes. I just want to say thank you for having me on, guys. Smash the like before the show ends, and thank you to the panel for having me on. So see you on the next
Make sure
one.
you check out Java's people tomorrow night, best Monday night in YouTube, Manchester United YouTube show. Java's Corner on Tactical Devils. Make sure you get him on there, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make us get to 5,000 Tactical Devils. Make sure you follow him on X, Bowley, BOLE77. Peace.
Okay, peace. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Nordin, I'm gonna head off too. I have an early start tonight, so I have something to pick up. Thanks, guys. Nice discussing with you guys.
Pick up the United trucker.
All right. Good night, guys. Thanks.
Make sure you check
out. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
No, like I was saying about the midfield, I think it was you with the. I'm not sure on everyone's names, but the guy with the headset on.
Is it me or Jordan?
Yeah, you. What's your name? Just so I know.
I'm Ben.
Ben. You spoke earlier about the owners, about them failing to get what we need, and I think that is. It was everyone was shouting the same things until the window closed, and then everything became Amorim's fault again. And I predicted that months ago. I said when it was like in May, everyone was speaking, this needs to be the best window we have ever had. And I was thinking, we are going to have a mid to shit window, and everyone is going to blame everything on because Amorim can't turn Casemiro to Valverde overnight. And that's like, but I think also, like Nora says, two things can be true at the same time, and I think that's very important too. When you look at things, it can't be just everything is red or green. I think most of life is like amber. It's like the yellow in the middle, I think since I was 6 years old, so I'm 30 now. So for 24 years, I've been watching Serie A since I was a kid, because I have Italian, and I have watched
Italian heritage. You have Italian heritage.
Heritage, yeah. So I've watched so many. I probably watched 500, 600, 700 games with 3 at the back, and a common misconception about 3 in the back is that it's so different to who is playing and the characters who's playing it. It's not So
also the coach who's playing it. Every coach has their own interpretation.
Exactly. That's exactly my point. So that is like a big misconception when you hear like pundits and everything talking about 5 at the back, 3 at the back, or a 4-3-3. A 4-3-3 can be super defensive, or it can be very offensive, and that's the same with 3 at the back and 5 at the back. And one of the different things for me with Amorim when I watched the before he came is that he doesn't play like with back how do you say it, fullbacks at
wingbacks.
Yeah. He used like, it would be more likely for me when he came in and I was making like a predicted 11 in my head, I put Garnacho and Ahmad on the wingbacks because he plays wings on the fullbacks, and I just think that is the most important positions for his side is the wingbacks, because you all have seen it when we play like fullbacks on both, we become so defensive like that, and when we play maybe too offensive, we become too expensive. So I just think that is, people talk about the midfield, and I also agree, but our team would, if we had like Nuno Mendes or Frimpong at the wingbacks, would have been like night and day. So I just think I would love to see our team have proper wingers like at those positions, because I think we can't see the true colors of the team until that. But like Nuro, but like Nuro says, I think it's really important. But that doesn't mean we have to be shit until then, and that's also a good point.
100%.
So I think we can't kind of judge until we have seen that. That's like going into watching a painter paint his picture and you see it half finished and like, oh, that looks dreadful. That's not fair to judge it, but also you have to see kind of progress when you see it as well. So it's kind of like you say, two things can be right at the same time. But I just think until we get to that point, it has to at least stay this level that it has been today. But I'm not. I just think I just think any coach like Conte, when he came at Chelsea, the first thing he did, even though they weren't that good, he signed Marcos Alonso and Victor Moses, and just boom, put them in at wingbacks, and they became a whole new team with those two, instead of playing the two they had, like Bosingva they had from before or whatever. And Bosingva is our Dalot. So
actually, Bosingva was a better player than Dalot.
I agree 100%.
Yo, people, listen, please smash the like. Bumbaye, last word from you. Let's do the last word.
Bumbaye.
Last word. And then SC.
The Bruno
Big
man.
up Raymond Pierce. It's all love, man. I'd just say I've noticed in the last two games, usually we're quite isolated up top, but we seem to be actually getting quite a few men into the box. If you look at the goals we scored last week and again this week, it's feeling, it's coming, it's looking better. We're getting more of, let's say, the painting's starting to look like a painting, as Helga was saying a little bit more just in these last 2 weeks. I think today's team is arguably the best team you can field. And I think the better that we get in terms of possession, understanding of the individual roles, the more that will probably just mask a little bit over the deficiencies in the team. I think when you play, it is quite high risk football. It's not what he's trying to do, and there are growing pains in it. And when you play this high risk football, what can happen today is when you lose the ball, this is just a natural consequence of playing this way. A good team can punish you. And you saw it today with the Isak chance. That's a good example. We've got the ball, we lose it a bit carelessly, 2-3 passes and they're there. And you're just going to have to accept that. The middle of the park, in terms of what Jarvis is asking, I'm a massive Bruno Fernandes fan. I thought he played well today. Leading up to the goal, if you look at the pass that he gives us when that comes for him with the left foot, and then Ahmad's away. But people, it's not his best position. He's more of a creative, a 10. But I thought positionally he was good today. And he defensively, he was in some very good positions to cut out some stuff. This is the best that you're going to be able to field right now, these two players. But their performance and their deficiency will be less as the team collectively improves. Because what we haven't done ordinarily is give the opposition anything to think about. You can't see a chance coming. You can't see anything in the final third, but that seems to be changing, and that's because the 10s are being allowed to be a little bit more narrow. The fullbacks are giving us more of the width, which they haven't. The quality is debatable, but they are giving us the width. That, in effect, is, I think, the overloads. Casemiro today, if you notice, he was left. We had an initial 4, like a diamond or square, if you want, that kind of pressed. It worked, and then Slot thought, okay, we need to get a man back, and they were getting out of that press, and then it was Casemiro. The guys were diligent in getting back, but the patterns of play, the shape of the team, things are starting to make sense a little bit, and I think it's a good day, and just give it some more time. Let's see. We might go to Brighton and we might get beat, but I just hope I continue to see this kind of.
We're playing at home against Brighton.
Yeah, it'll be a difficult game. There's no really easy games in England anymore. Every game poses its own challenges. You've got so many teams now, from Villa to Tottenham to Brighton to Palace. Loads of teams, pose you a problem. But it's getting there, man. It's getting there.
It's getting there, people. It's getting there. Go ahead, Edsky. Last word from you.
Man.
Guys.
Yo, bless Mumbai.
Bless.
Last word for me. Look, man, take it in. Beat Liverpool at Anfield, man. Like last time, we people in there, I can't remember, like fucking 9 years ago. Crazy. Everyone's lives are just so different. So I just want to say, yeah, man. Look, big up everyone. And I think right now with the system, it's we just persist, do the best we can. It's a bit volatile right now because if we score first, it's great. If not, we're trying to force it even more. Then we're more susceptible to the counter attack with Bruno in that midfield position there. So it is very volatile. If we didn't score early today, different story. So I think right now, just take this. Positives are mentality was decent today. Again, Harry Maguire's come up with another big goal. Everyone's just got to respect that. Honestly, if you've said anything about Harry Maguire, whatever. I think his commitment to the team. He's still shit. He might still be shit, but at the end of the day, big game against Liverpool. Fans will remember this. The last Englishman to do it, I think, was Wayne Rooney with the header. Now it's Harry Maguire. Now just the kind of thing where it's also in a year's time we're all going to look back and say, remember that day, Maguire.
He'll get the cult status from this goal.
Cult status, and look, that goes a long way. We talk about Forlan. Why do we still sing about Forlan? Why do we still sing about? And I never saw Forlan play. Well, I have to sing about Forlan because of what he's done.
Diego,
whoa, made the scouts right. All that. This is what I'm saying, isn't it? So big up for him. Happy for him. Happy for the manager as well. Took a bit of pressure off, and now recuperate, regroup, and then try to get Leacher back in. Look at Brighton. Make it 6 points. Make it 9. Don't look at this game. Don't look behind you. Make it 6. Make it 9. Go into Tottenham saying, look, we've just beat Liverpool. We've beaten Brighton. We've beaten Forest. We're going to take yous out now. Like if we can do that, and then up until the next international break, just take as many points as you can. The narrative will change. The players will feel confidence, and look, towards the end of the season, you just try and just give ourselves a bit of pride, man. Look, finished 15th last year. Fans are happy. Let's try and restore some pride. And games like this, you know, it means nothing if you lose the next two ultimately, right? It's just a game that you remember for this day.
Well, Brighton is a must-win, mate. Brighton is a must-win.
All these games are a must-win. Look, Brighton are a must-win. They're a bit up down. Forest is, I'd say Brighton most likely have to win. Let's call it a must-win. Forest is a must-win for me because they've just sacked the manager, right?
By the way, Sean Dyche is taking over Forest.
Confirmed.
Is that true?
But the talks are going well.
Okay.
They were looking at Mancini.
Mancini's dropped out.
He would have been.
Mancini's wage demands was too high or something.
He would have been really good, Mancini.
Yeah, go ahead. Big up, Edsky. Thanks for jumping on, bro. Always love. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, bless.
Yes, big up for having me on, Nerd, and always, bro. Always, much love. Big up. It's good seeing you as well, SK, man. I haven't seen you in ages. And good to meet you as well. I don't know what's your name again?
Helgi.
Good to meet you, man. Yeah, good to have you on the show, bro. Yeah, look, at the end of the day, people, I'm gasping on. Liverpool wanted their 21st league title. Guess what? Guess what the score was? 2-1. What does that equal? 21. So you can have that, Scousers. You can have that. You can fucking hold that. Anyways, it's all over the Arsenal, man. We're all looking at you. We want you to win the league, not them, Scousers, man. I cannot be around as a United fan if I see Liverpool win 21, man. I just can't. It would be the most hurtful thing in history, man, for me. Like, you know, I'm 28 years of age. I've seen United in the glory days. You know, I'm glad, and you know, at the end of the day, I just can't see them, our biggest rivals, just, you know, take control of the whole world. But you know, like I said, Helgi, isn't it? Yeah, yes. Yeah, just what you said earlier, man. Like in terms of like the owners and stuff, like you're absolutely spot on, man. Like I said, United needed seven signings. Nurden has the receipts. I said it so many times. Man United needs 7 starters. We only signed 4 starters, and it's just not good enough. And I seen instantly, as soon as Amram was struggling, I knew instantly all the Amram riders were just gonna laugh their whole off, because they can now finally get this guy out of the club. You know, he needs sacked and stuff. The only reason why people are turning on to Ineos, and this is a fucking fact, people, is a facts. The only reason people are turning on Ineos is because they want to keep Ruben Amorim. That is the reason. It's nothing to do with, they're not doing this right, they're not doing right. It's because they want to keep Ruben Amorim. If they got rid of Ruben Amorim, all the Ineos supporters would be like, see, what did I tell you? Like, the Ineos are moving mad. It's that's the issue. So look, I'm glad we won. I'm really glad, but our focus must not go away. It must not go away. Nurden has the 2 signs beside him. Glazers out, Radcliffe out. Focus on them. I want more protests. I want more.
I think it's so important now in January that people start to shift the focus again, because let's say even if we are top 4, let's say we are top 4, like if you believe in pigs flying, but let's say we are top 4, like the point is, as a club, we are so far behind, and we can't play having like Dorgu, like bless him, he is raw, but we can't have a 20-year-old left back, or Dalot, or Ahmad. I love Ahmad, but he is not. I think he's doing brilliantly, but you get what I'm saying. Like Masraoui, I love Masraoui, but he isn't a wing back, and we have Casemiro and Bruno. It's a. Let's say we start this team. Let's say we start Dorgu, Dalot, Casemiro, and Bruno. None of those 4 is near enough good. So my point is, when it comes to January, we have to start building pressure for them to do things, because I can't be hearing the no, but promise, summer is going to be madness. Like, we're going to buy half of PSG in the summer. Just wait till some. I can't deal with another January like that. I will lose my shit if we don't buy anyone in January and just say, yeah, the team is good enough as it is, because they need pressure. Because in the summer, that was the most important transfer window as far as I can remember, and we were shit. Like we got a young goalkeeper like at the end of the window. We spent 9 months on Mbumo. Like
Yes.
it was a shit. It was a shit summer. I gave it like a 4 out of the 10, and it needed to be a 9. Like honestly.
Absolutely.
So I just think the poster behind Nuri is so important. Like when it comes to, especially in the end of December, we need to, as a whole, because promise me, they care a lot about like perception, outwards perception.
Interactions, yeah,
100%.
100%. And it's like, I can't do shit because I'm no one, but I'm just talking about like,
you can't. Everybody
It's the
can
man-
do their
it's-
bit.
It's the money people. That's the
but
thing
but
we do.
together, because imagine if in the January, if we went and signed 2 fullbacks, or Anderson or Wharton, or it's a completely different team by 3 signings.
100%.
Honestly, it's not that much that needs to be done, because imagine June, when it comes to June, if we have Lisandro, Delict, and Euro in at the back, and Masraoui, and then we have 2 nice fullbacks, and like Wharton and Anderson, and then Cunha and Boomer and Sesko, we're a very good team.
Yeah.
We don't need that much to be a really, really, really good team.
I agree. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, Glazers and
Oh.
Ineos out. On that note, big up to
Palestine.
Helga, big up to Ben, big up to everybody who's come on, big up to Bumbaye, big up to Eski, big up to Jarvis, big up to Luani. Love and light, everybody. We're here, we're doing nearly 2-hour show for you. Panel discussion. I did a watch along. I'm YouTubed out. I've had enough of this shit. My voice is gone. Free Palestine, free Lebanon, free Tigray, free
Palestine.
Ogaden, free everybody in the world where are oppressed. Yeah, free Kashmir, free the Congo and Sudan, free anybody standing against the military war machine, the colonialism and imperialism. Love, light, up the fucking Irish, United
Always.
fucking Island, peace.
Every day,
Big
bro.
up
Get
to
them.
Norway, big up to the Norwegians for smashing the fucking Israel 5
Yes.
fucking nil. That
Thank
made me.
God,
that
man.
made my
Thank
day.
God. Oh, that was
Big
amazing.
up, big up to Haaland, man. Big up to the
Unbelievable.
Norwegian fans with their flags,
Unbelievable.
Palestinian
Hold
flags, man.
that.
Love.
Hold that,
That-
Israel.
Hold that, bastards. Fuck them. Love and light, people. Glazers, in Ratcliffe, fucking out. Peace. Take care.
Facts.
Good night.
Big up.